Alright, I got the latest update for FS 2020, so, hopefully we'll see turbulence, that sort of a thing. Saw some turbulence last night on my CJ flight, and I may do some experimenting later on. In smaller airplanes, light airplanes like this one, you'll feel the turbulence effect more than you do in the CJ. So, it'd be nice. And this is my, I guess I should show you this. This is my route to Fort Perry. There's a restricted area right here, so we're going around it. I think is it restricted? Oh, it's a MOA. Okay, so technically we could go through it, but do you really want to do that? So yeah, we're going around it. So that's what we're doing. So not a long flight. I just wanted to do it. You gotta, in FS 2020 you don't have historic weather, not yet anyway. So this is my chance to, to fly in pretty. I'll be real curious to see what Fort Perry's weather when we get there. Right now, or Perry Foley, not Fort Perry. It's Perry, Florida. Right now the weather is 800 broken, overcast 6,000. And the visibility. This is an automated weather observation, so there isn't any. Alright, so in terms of IFR, this airplane's got practically everything except for VNAV, which we really don't need, so it's quite okay. Pre-flight inspection, passenger doors, rudder pedals, power levers are idle, parking brake is set, avionics master is off, gear selector is down, confirm down, motor switches are auto, alternators both on, yep. Here, let me. There we go. Fuel pumps are off, electrical master on, G1000, wait for power up, boom, there it is. Hold on. So how much fuel do we need? 335 pounds. Let's see, it's 160. I always take extra when the weather is garbage. Though my alternate is way out there. So that's plenty. Good. Fuel selectors are on. Yep. Strobe lights on. The nav lights on. Engine master to the left. So, circuit breakers check in. Idle RPM is good, actually, very good. Avionics master on. Power lever is required. Electrical equipment is on. Flight instruments and avionics. Okay, so let's get this flight plan in. Going from zoom in here. I haven't quite figured out that. No. I have not figured out what they're doing there. Let's see. From there we're going to going to KFPY. Okay, KFPY, KFP. That's the airport. Okay, tell me that this is not going to work today. See if it has an alternate ID. No, it doesn't. KFPY. Gotta be kidding me. Hi Tom, no, it's got, it only has VNAV for procedures, and you can't change them, so, which is a little bit of a double-edged sword there, because sometimes the nav data is wrong and you can't adjust it. So, for example, if you were loading up an RNAV approach and it showed that at the initial approach fix altitude was 4,000, but the plate showed it was 3,500, you couldn't fix it. And if you want, say center gave you, or approach control told you to cross a fix, descend and maintain 8,000, cross a fix at 8,000 or 9,000 or something like that, or cross 5 miles before a fix at 9,000, there's no way to do that. Well, you can mathematically. That's what you got to do. You have to do it all with math, which is good. But it looks like this flight plan is garbage because FS 2020 doesn't seem to know anything about Perry Foley Airport. What a weird thing. And you know, I specifically picked it because the airport is above its landing minimums. The weather's crappy, but the airport is above its landing minimums. Whereas Cross City, which is, or Lake City, which is not too far away, I could switch to that airport. But the weather there is overcast 400 feet. Let me look at the minimums here. Yeah, no, the minimums are 501, so it's not even legal to do the approach there. So, I don't know, you know, what could I do? I think I'm just going to scrub the flight. Let's see, what is this airport? K24J. And their 800 does have an RNAV to 7. Yeah, well, we could do it. We could do that. We could just do it direct to K24J, which is a shorter flight. See if it knows what K24J is. Which would be ironic because this is a lightly used airport, and I'll modify my altitude to 6,000 then if this works. K24J doesn't exist. Obviously, I'm going to have to switch to Navigraph data. Yeah, we're dead in the water here in terms of airports. Well, there's Waycross. It's gotta know Waycross. Tell me it knows Waycross. What is it? Waycross is overcast. And it's got an ILS. So we'll try Waycross, which is really close. I mean, this will be a short flight. Or what is that? Valdosta. KVLD is 700 overcast. We'll try KVLD. But again, I'll just do a direct to because I don't want to keep farting around here. It's gotta know Valdosta. Unless something goofed up when I loaded my sim. There we go. Now we got Valdosta in there. So, and the wind in Valdosta is 1103. So if I were going to pick well, the ILS is to 3.5. Well, that's okay. I'll do the ILS to 3.5. And we need 300 and a quarter. 300 and a quarter, really? 300 and 3/4. That's what it is. And they've got that. So I guess we're good to go. That's it. That's the whole flight plan. Okay. Zoom out. There it is. Total 84 miles. So and the weather here in Jacksonville. VFR 10 miles, scattered 900, broken 9,000, no precipitation. Could prove that by me. 10 statute miles, scattered 900, broken 9,000. Temperature 28, altimeter 3011. I sound like an ATIS. Does this work? No, it doesn't. so that's set. And wind is calm. So runway 8. Let's do runway 8. Feet, and we've got the pointer. Avionics master's on power levels. Okay, so pitot heat on, then off. Position lights are on. Landing taxi lights, electrical equipment, taxiing, park and brake. Taxi light on. Park and brake off. There is no VATSIM. This is when you really want VATSIM. Reading your text, Tom. You could use it for some guidance. NXI doesn't have these speeds based on weights computed. No, that and my checklist actually has that in it. I should post. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll post my checklist to the video when I'm done. Something they need to fix is teach vehicles how to move out of the way. Yeah, I don't know. Can you set V speeds? It looks like you can. At least you can set some of them, right? There's a VR, VX, and VY. Shouldn't be farting with this one taxiing. Probably we will see at least a VA in there or something at some point. There's a few things about this airplane that they still need to fix. Like a lot of things in FS 2020. I'll be curious about the turbulence, because last night when I was flying the CJ, I got a pretty good amount of turbulence. But like I said, I want to try it out in a couple of GA airplanes, because that's what makes GA real, is not so much turbulence as moving air. So, yeah. And apparently one of the turnovers broke the ECU test, so we'll be skipping that as well. But I expect that to be back in. He's futzing with a few things. I think he's futzing with the ECU test to get that working again, and he had it working pretty good. And then also the yaw damper. These switches, when I first loaded this airplane, you know, back when FS 2020 came out, I looked at these switches and I thought, those, you know, there's something messed up there. And sure enough, the yaw damper buttons were not there. And I believe it goes right here, and the flight director button goes here. The heading button just keeps going down. And so it's got an extra button in here somewhere, and I'm not sure which one it is. Or it's missing a row. I'm not sure. But it should have a yaw damper. To my knowledge, I don't think I've ever seen a twin without a yaw damper. Relatively modern twin. So where were we before takeoff? We'll do this. It doesn't take long. It's not like a King Air. where you practically run out of gas. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. Yeah, I actually wonder if we'll see VNAV in the next release, because the same guys that did the VNAV for the CJ4 are doing the VNAV for this. And so they basically got to take the logic that's in the CJ4 and somehow convert it to work inside this. And the VNAV in the CJ4 is pretty good. Has some problems on arrival, and especially if there's a discontinuity, it can muck things up. And like I said yesterday in my flight, my recommendation, especially if you have a discontinuity, is to turn VNAV off and just do it all manually at that point. But you know, I was flying VetSim, and the controller was telling me to descend to 3,000 feet, and my airplane was lollygagging getting down to 3,000 feet. I was like, what in the hell? I mean, I was up at 7,000 feet coming up on the initial approach fix, and it was just messing it up, that's all. Okay, so before some people are bugging me, let's see. Position aircraft into the wind. There is no wind. Parking brake set. Passenger door is closed. Pilot doors, front baggage doors, and annunciators are good. Engine system page, well, that's all you get. Circuit breakers are checked in. Longitudinal trim set for takeoff. Latitude trim is set for takeoff. Fuel selector is on. Do a quick cross-feed check. Directional trim. Flaps. Flight controls, free and correct, pitot heat on, we are ready to go. Okay, so real quick, this is set this way, heading mode is set 3,000 feet, and the pointer looks like it's heading in the right direction. Masters are on, pitot. Not likely that we're gonna need lights, but why not, right? Okay, so lights, icing. Honestly, don't know about this switch. It's on normal. Lights, icing, flaps are set. Transponder. Out. So I just let the dogs out of the airplane. They can run around in the infield grass, and we'll just leave them there. How's that? Lights icing, flaps, transponder, switches, toga, target brake off. Final is clear. Well, it would be because I shut AI off last night. Takeoff power set. Everything in the green. 2 good engines. Airspeed's alive. 50 knots. Positive rates. Gear up. Flaps up. IAS mode. And I'm not going to go above 10 degrees. Okay, start our turn. 90% power. Not going to be able to fart around a whole lot. Valdosta's not that far away. So at the moment, it's awfully smooth. Somebody was posting that, you know, they turned. Well, last night they turned on Turbulence. What does it say? VOR. There we go. Still getting used to the NXI. %75 power, good. 3,000 feet, let's put the autopilot on.
Engaging autopilot.
It's still on heading. See, I have not, these buttons piss me off. Alright, so let's do L's up to 8,000 feet. 6,000. back to climb power. David, if that's right, then I need to modify my checklist because I'm missing. My checklist is something I got from someplace else that I've modified. Honestly, I don't even know where to check fire. If you click that little icon next to where you type it in, you can use the keyboard to type in waypoints. Oh, instead of scroll. Yeah. Yeah. Let me get up to altitude. Let me see how much time we've got. I may ask you about that, but I want to get the approach in. Well, let's see how it handles putting in the approach too, right? Get up to altitude first. And I wonder if this thing shows icing on the wing or anything like that. I mean, our outside temperature is 17, so we should be safe. So we are getting some turbulence. Let's see something about this turbulence here in just a second. After takeoff, landing, light off, and taxi light. I'm sorry, yeah. I'm a little bit preoccupied. Takeoff, fine. Landing gear is fine. Flaps are up. Fuel pumps left and right off. Why? You know, it says right there, fuel pumps left and right off before takeoff. Do I not have? Nope, I don't. I don't have a fuel selector. I have fuel selector, but I don't have fuel pumps on for takeoff. And then, where's the fire test? Test device. I don't know what either of those two things, where they would be. So let's get the approach loaded. Proc. Enter. ILS to 3.5. Through basic. Minimums. And go. 0.9. It's already set. Approach course is 356. Let's see, minimums are 500. And let's see how it does this. We're going to specifically load it. Let's see if it does it right. Enter. Scroll down. See, I'm loading it, so let's see what happens. I did it right. Good. Now let's look at these altitudes. It says Kure and Kagi at 2,000 feet. Both are correct. Good. So now we can press VNav. We can outsell 2,000. And we're 23 minutes from VNav. I'm going to click VNav. And it's not going to let me yet. Oh, that's because I don't have the approach loaded. So, or I don't have it activated. So, let's, why don't we do this? Oh, I can't put an altitude here. Normally I would put an altitude here of some kind, just to give me a VNav target. So, if nothing else, what I could do is just say, I need to lose 4,000 feet, 4 times 3, 12 miles out, 12 miles, and say 5 miles level flight. So 17, say 20 miles out, round it up. So we're 62 miles out. And we will have to see if the weather here at this airport is as bad as it is on SkyVector and on flight. Sorry. I found the dogs running alongside the airplane and I decided to let them in. About that turbulence. You know, up here above the lowest lowest layer of clouds, you normally wouldn't see a lot of turbulence. Now at the moment we're not, which is pretty good, but earlier we were. We'll see. I mean, unless you were inside of a cloud. I don't know. Part of me just wants to say I'm a little grateful that the turbulence is there. Okay, so let's do a... No. Rock, activate approach. And I'm pressing VNav and it's still ignoring me. So 54 miles. It may be ignoring me because I'm so far from the descent. Maybe. Oh, wait a second. I remember. Where's my VNav button? There we go. I don't have my VNav switch properly attached to the sim for this airplane. So up here at 6,000 feet, we're burning 15 gallons an hour. And we're doing 154 knots, so we're getting 10 miles per gallon. Which isn't bad for an airplane. Oh, actually, no, that's ground speed. So we're getting 11 gallons per hour, because our ground speed is 169. And we got a headwind. Oh, well, we're supposed to have a headwind, but apparently we're not. So yeah, 11. Get up to altitude, and cutting back on the throttle some, we could probably get up around 16 miles per gallon. 16, maybe 17. My truck doesn't get that kind of gas mileage. So David, where is the fire test and device test? And do you turn the fuel pumps on for landing too? I don't believe that's on my checklist either. I would think you would. Ah, you do? So I need to change this. I need to change it just at least one place. Yeah, here, right here on the checklist it says the autopilot and yaw damper must be disconnected during takeoff. So yeah, this airplane does obviously have a yaw damper. It's supposed to anyway. But in all fairness to the folks that developed this airplane, finding a picture of these switches was surprisingly difficult to find. I must have looked at like 40 of them or so before I finally found a set that I could see, and even then they were difficult to read. And I wish, I don't know. Well, I don't know if they're going to keep working on making the weather more accurate or not. Nav is set, my altitude is set, the approach is set, the minimums are set. Frequency is set. The only thing I didn't set was the course. This is primarily the #1 airplane I like to fly on just a morning flight. Just load it up and just go somewhere. Marker right there. You know, I'm not going to fly this airplane on BATSIM until they get VNAV. I just sort of decided that there's no rush. Been half thinking about the CRJ. Haven't convinced myself yet. Just one airliner, maybe. It's just a once in a while thing I get an itch, you know what I mean? Alright, so cruise. While I'm scooting along. Oh no. I don't have, this is actually a visor checklist that I have not modified. I do not have the editable version of this. So I'm gonna have to re-put the whole thing in, which is okay, I guess. Because some of this stuff, I think it's gotten a little bit wordy. And I could tighten it up, and then for the airspeed tables I could probably clean them up. It's a good checklist. At least it seems that way. Fire test is next to the 3 lights landing gear. Gear fire test. Okay, thank you. And then what's the device test? Or is that what you were saying, the gear fire test? Yeah, that's not on there either. And do you do the gear fire test just before takeoff, or do you do it before taxiing? The ice test, sorry, that doesn't actually have the light test with the low, medium, high switch to the left of the PFD. Right here. And this thing uses fluid, right? For de-ice. Boy, that's a hard switch to hit. Just for takeoff, okay. Just for takeoff for the gear test, or the gear fire test. Okay. Like, I don't know much about the de-icing system. I think I recall that it uses fluid. I don't know how long the fluid lasts. Like, for example, if you were flying for a couple of hours in clouds, would you be okay? There's there was a gauge someplace for how much icing fluid you had left. In fact, I think that's what this pump 1 and 2 is for. Do it right after the directional trim. Let's see, so takeoff, say fuel. Directional trim. So I'll get that written down anyway. I don't know. I don't know if this weather's going to match at all. You know, we'll see. Let's see, what's the weather now? Valdosta. Runway 13 and 31 are closed. Now it's 10 miles, overcast 1,000. That's what it says. These are counter-rotating props on this thing, isn't it? They're going to the left. At least visually, that's what it looks like. Yeah, and that one's going to the right. Or is it? Hard to tell. No, 136 and 119. Well, the weather's calling for anti-ice, so let's turn that on. And well, 1,000 to go. Approach. I don't know, it looks like a pretty nice day out there. So much for trying out the IFR. Keep the speed down. Yeah, I can already see the runway. And we are well within 10 miles, so I'm not surprised by that. Flaps out. So we're at 2,000 feet. Well, the ceiling is lower over there. So fuel pump's on. Switch doesn't work. approach speed should be around 95. It's almost cheating when you can see the runway the whole way down. It was not what I was hoping for. And even if you're looking at your instruments down here, your peripheral vision sees the runway. No 500-foot call out, so flaps are going down, gears down 3 green, fuel pumps are on. And 185. No grease there. Not bad, but it's not a greaser. It's okay. Yeah, right now it's supposed to be 10 miles with 1,000 overcast. So in terms of getting the weather precisely right, explain with active sky is probably more accurate. If you want it to be precisely right. But, you know, keeping in mind that weather observations lag the real weather. So, you know, a half hour ago it may have been that, but if they didn't do a special observation, then, yep, it cleared up. Normally that would trigger a special observation, but sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so let's clean some things up. Fuel pumps off. Flaps up. Pitot heat off. Landing lights off. We can leave the strobes on. Well, we just as well shut them off. And let's shut the de-ice off. Maybe. Well, I've got to assign a switch or something to that. Too cool. Let's see, so parking brake is set power lever 10% load per 1 minute. Switches off. That's good. "39 minutes. Oh, that's a nice looking airplane. So I didn't get out of this flight what I wanted to get. That's alright. I got to take the DA62 up. Turbulence was good. It was decent. It wasn't weird. It wasn't jerking the airplane around by the nose, which is what I've typically seen in sims. I'll keep trying that out. I mean, that'll take me a month to keep trying it out. Just to see. I have a sense that they probably will need some sort of a slider for it. For people that don't like it. You know, just like they have in the real world, right? Landing light, that's right. That's right. Good catch. Yeah, I missed the landing light too. I saw that. You know, normally if I'm flying with that sim, they clear me to land and I click it on and I get lazy. Also on this plane, it is very important to test engines before takeoff on the 2 buttons that are above the alternator switches. Now those buttons, the ECU test buttons, don't work right now. Unless you correct me, unless I'm doing something wrong, you press them and absolutely nothing happens now. They're supposed to like rev up and then rev down, rev up and then rev down, right? And you know, you can press them both at the same time if you had 2 mouse pointers instead of, you know, fingers. But yeah, they did work. Not this iteration, but the last iteration, and they broke. So, which is okay. But you're right. You should do the ECU test before you take off. That was a good catch. Yeah. All the excuses in the world for missing something though, right? I'll get it. You know, I can't say that, you know, this is the airplane that I wanted, but it's but that airplane is so far, it could be a year or two before I get a good turboprop. But this one's okay. I mean, it's fast. You can fly it high. It's great range because of its fuel efficiency. And it's a great place to test out the NXI and learn more about it. Even though maybe I'm wrong, but these buttons over here behave very strangely to me. So, whatever. Thanks for flying along with me, David. Thanks for giving me the pointers and all that too. I'll keep working on it. All right. That's it for this one. I might be back on tonight, probably with Bad Tim. So, they weren't, Jax and Miami weren't on last night, which usually if they skip a night, that means that they'll be on the next night. So we should probably see them tonight. Anyway, I'll see you guys online later.